So what I've set up is what you're going to be seeing. Again, it's going to be a sentence. You're going to see an equation here. Most likely it will be balanced. And you're going to have two givens as part of your sentence. 54. It doesn't really matter what the number is. That's the least important part. Pattern is the most important part. So what I do is I just go ahead and put my given here. And then I follow pattern. So what's going to go on the bottom for the for this one? What do you see here? Grams of ale. Just let me go through the process, and then I don't want to cut you off. I just want to answer, make sure to go through it, then you can ask your question, okay? So I got grams of AL. How do I cancel out grams of AL? Put it at the bottom. Nothing changes. What hasn't made an appearance yet? Mole. The mole. Which one is the big one between the two? The mole. And then I just use the mass of aluminum, which it'll round to 27. I think it's 26.98, but it rounds to 27. We're done. What's going to go on the bottom? How do I cancel out mole of AL? Same thing, right? Some people like referring to this one as the box because I see mole on the bottom for the very first time. So I just automatically put a box here. Let's just refer to that as the mole box. And we are trying to move from here over to here right now. We're not messing with the other one. So we have our mole, which means our new mole is going to be ALI3. And then all I have to do is just put my numbers in there. How many moles of AL do I have? 2. How many moles of ALI3 do I have? 2. Since I have to go to mole of this, aren't I in mole of this? I sure am. If you look at this, you can cancel out numbers and get an answer pretty quick, can't you? What can I divide both those numbers by? 2. So we can change that to 1 as long as I do the same thing on the top and on the bottom. Okay? Seems easy enough. Divide those two numbers, you'll see that it is 2. I'll just put 0, 2.0 moles. Nothing's changed. I'm done with this. All I have to do is deal with this. That's how you deal with it. I'll put 2 lines under here. Those are the 2 I am dealing with. So now I just put my given here. Can y'all see this? sometimes it gets a little too low. Are we okay way in the back?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep these up here, but you are responsible for writing this down. So I got grams of I2 on the top, grams of I2 on the bottom. Canceling. What hasn't made an appearance yet? The mole. Which one's the big one? The mole. I have to do a mass for I2. I think it's 126.9, so that's 253.8. 8 grams of I2. So I will cancel this one out as far as unit. What's going to go on the bottom? Mole. It's the only thing that can go down there. It's a practice thing, by the way. And then I will just put, isn't that the mole because I see mole on the bottom for the first time? So I'll do my mole. That's an AL. Now I can deal with this one here and this one here. How many moles of I2 do I have? 3. How many moles of this do I have? 2. I can't cancel those out, so I have to calculate that one. And I end up with 0.722 moles, but I'll just put 0.72 moles. I probably need to put 0.722 moles. Any questions on process? In order for you guys to do it, you have to go through process. By the way, we're also in the correct unit for this one too. Now the question is going to be, how many moles of ALI3 is formed? You have your choice. You have the highest number and you have the lowest number. Which one do you think it is? Let's kind of backtrack to empirical formula. What was my first one I divided by? Starts with an M. The mass. What was the second thing I divided by? Smallest or the lowest, right? So what do you think the answer is going to be? The lowest. What is the other number? Something that's never going to happen. Now you also have some clues as far as which one these are. Limiting starts with an L. That is my lowest one. That is my lowest one. What created the lowest one? My I2. So we call this a limiting reactant. And it's not the number, it is the element or whatever else it is. What must the other one be? Well, if it's not limiting, it must be what? Excess. So my excess reactant is going to be aluminum. They are the elements, not the number. But if you get the numbers, then you're on the right track anyway. Okay? Let's think of how this really happens in life. Let's say you put 10 gallons of gasoline in your car and you want to drive 2,000 miles. Is that ever going to happen? Are you going to make it 2,000 miles? Is that a yes or a no? No. What eventually happens? What? Oh, it runs out of gas, right? Your gas is your limiting reactant. How does a car burn the fuel? Because it needs oxygen. The oxygen is your excess reactant. Any questions? Okay, you got your assignments. Again, mole conversion and stoichiometry.